want to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, of great millstone. Shout out to the hopeful last start with 144,000. Shalom. So, I don't really got a title right now, Lord willing, a title to come to me, but I'm trying to see how I wanna go, like, cause I was watching Elder Pastor Ramlad lesson from yesterday. Real quick, I'll go on my TV, see the title of it. Good edification, I highly suggest you go watch it. But he titled it "Seeing Thou Hatest Instruction," and he really was going into he was going into good edification about about the sacrifices, things of that nature, and I've been wanting to really do a lesson on this too as well. But this kind of like pushed me in the direction as well, because when you understand, you know that Adam, which transgresses law, right? So first of all, first and 4. Wait, no, wait, bear with me. First John 3 and 4, it's like First John 3 and 4, right? It said, "Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is a transgression of the law." So, Adam, when he went off, what I'm saying, in the garden with Eve, that not eating no apple, not things of that nature. He ate thereof, meaning he learned the way of wickedness. He learned the way of he learned the way of wickedness, basically. Not attached to big words, right? When he learned the way of wickedness, what I'm saying, starting with Eve, going on to Adam, with serpent and everything like that. But if you can receive it, that serpent, which was a colored man at the time, what I'm saying, it was no actual snake. It was a serpent who got a wicked spirit on him, and he knew the way of wickedness. And when he got them to learn the ways of wickedness, because we only knew righteousness, right? We was sons of powers, right? We was named the sons of power, right? I got it in my notes right here. Yeah, sons of power, you know what I'm saying? We didn't know wickedness, but serpent tricked Eve, lied to her, and she ended up going to get Adam to do the same thing. He fell in line with it, and they learned the ways of the wickedness, and that was all the Most High doing. But not really going too deep into that, right? I really was saying that to say, the same man who brought sin, is the same one who gonna come back and bring righteousness, right? But he also was that ultimate sacrifice for us to bring us back to that fold, that mediator between, the second covenant and the second covenant. He's the mediator in the second covenant, which is gonna make us perfect, right? So I guess we'll start off in Romans 5, right? Starting verse 12, and it reads, "Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin," because the wages of sin is death, right? It says, "And death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned," right? So I'm bringing my notes real fast from there, Adam was Yahweh Shai, the same, you can receive that same spirit, right? He said, "For until the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law." And we know that we got laws and commandments, so what is sin? Transgressing of the law. So they went off. The Most High told them not to eat that tree of, not to go, because go back, this way is plain. That's why I wasn't really trying to get into it too much, but I'll show a little bit of it. So if you go to Genesis 29, right? So that tree, right, says, "Out of the ground made the Lord power to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil," right? So he telling them not hey, get the apple. No, don't go over there, because don't eat thereof of the way of the evil. Don't learn the ways of the evil, right? Because this meal like it to a supper, right? That's why the Most High say. That's why Yahweh Shai say He'll sup with us, because this truth like it to a meal, right? We eat it up, man. We learn it. We gain knowledge, right? That's why John said, when he ate it, it was bitter in his stomach because he understand the the things we gotta do behind this truth, cutting family off, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? It can get hard on some people, but it get bitter because we gonna eat it up, we're gonna digest it, we're gonna do the work, but we understand that it can hurt you sometimes. And not in a bad way, but you got to cut family off, separate yourself. You might have been wanting to do this and that, but your calling's different. You're doing the will of Yahweh Shai, you chosen, right? But got to get into all that. So they went over that, and when it says they ate thereof, right? Going back to Genesis 3, right? So I'll just go back Genesis 3, I get it, verse 3, right? It said, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, which got the knowledge of good and evil, Yahweh has said, you should not eat of it. You should not learn of it. You should not learn the ways of evil, right? Neither shall you touch it, lest ye die, right? So as I got it right here, the people had the knowledge because that serpent was not a serpent. What you think? That serpent was a colored man who had a wicked spirit on him. That wicked spirit later goes on to Cain. Watch the way they later come back on Esau. You know what I'm saying? Defiling that lion, that deceitful spirit. That's all we gotta know. It's a whole other lesson, but that's why we gotta know. That's why it says, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. We gotta know the ways of the wicked so we can understand, we can understand and appreciate the righteousness. And it's another lesson, that Lord willing. I know I did a lesson on it as well. I know Pastor Gabar did a perfect lesson on it. And you should watch it. It was a good understanding, a great lesson. But these people had the knowledge of wickedness and the knowledge of sin, right? Shall not eat, meaning you shall not learn the ways of wickedness. The knowledge of wickedness is a transgression of law, right? And the serpent lied to her, said she shouldn't die, and she enticed Adam to go do it, and they did it, right? So going back, once again, not to get too sidetracked, you should go watch that lesson. It's on Elder Pastor. It's on Elder Pastor Gabar page, Daily Edification 4, and it's called "Why Did He Program Apprentice in quotation his people to sin?" In parentheses, go off. So you should watch that. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good. It's simple. It's simple, but it's good understanding. His ways are simple to the holy, and stumbling block to the wicked. But getting back to it, right? He said, "For unto the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression." So Adam brought sin into the world for everybody, we were subject to vanity. You know what I'm saying? Most High Adam had to go off, right? Because Most High matter of fact, I'm going to go back to that, but I'm going to go to 2nd Ezra, right? 7, right? I think it's 9. Yeah. So I'm gonna start at verse 9, right? Because once again, in order to be a proper God, you gotta know evil and good, right? Because you'll never appreciate the righteousness if you'll never know the truth if you never know the lie, right? If you know what I'm saying? So 2nd Ezra 7:9, right? It says, if the city now were given unto a man for inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So you got to go through the persecution. You got to go through these things in order for you to receive the inheritance of heaven. Most High got to see if you rocking with him. In order to know righteousness, you got to know evil to be a proper guy, right? So you can understand these things, so you don't be deceived, so you don't fall into these ways of the wicked. Because we know that same wicked spirit is on Esau, right? And they deceitful, lying, deceiving, wicked, right? And they'll deceive you. They'll turn you wicked, right? That melting pot. That's what they do to a lot of Israel today, But it said, I said, it is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, even also is Israel's portion, right? He says, because for this sake I made the world. And when Adam, because we supposed to have everything. We supposed to have it all. So we supposed to have everything. But he said, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then was the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. So it's going to be hard. It ain't going to be just no easy path to it. It's going to be hard. You got to work for it. You got to work for it. You got to do the works. You got to do the will. You got to do your part. I promises, and I our promises and things that he set for us, they still in front of us, but now we gotta do our part to it, and that's what we're gonna get into, Lord willing, right? It says, for then I start over. Then the entrance of this world were made narrow, full of sorrow and travail, but they are few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrance of the world, for the entrance of the elder world were made wide and sure and brought in more fruit. If they that live labor not to enter into these great and vain things, focus on the straight gate, right? They can never receive those that are laid up for them. So we got to focus on the straight gate. We can't get caught up in the wicked, get caught up in these wicked ways. You know what I'm saying? See, these people who caught up and they blind to see, they don't know they going off. But for us, because he told us, right? Psalms 82 verse 6, right? Ye are God, you should die like men, right? So in order to be a proper God, we gotta learn the ways of the wicked. We gotta be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. We gotta know these lies to know the truth. We gotta know the wicked to know the righteousness, right? So getting back to it, right? Going back to Romans, right? And it says, nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned, of the similitude of Adam's transgression. So Adam going off, right? Who is the figure of him that was to come, right? He's the figure of him. That same spirit, right? That same spirit is Yahushua, which is to come, right? And to bring us into perfection, right? But we know we're gonna bring it through the perfection, through the suffering. Same way Yahushua suffered, dying on the cross, doing that thing, doing the laying down his life, going through the persecution, right? That's the same thing we got to do. Hebrews 2:10, right? We made perfect through our suffering, right? But at the same time, we knowing Yahweh was that ultimate sacrifice for us to even be brought into that perfection. Because we know the law is perfect, but we're imperfect creatures, right? So therefore, even back then, when like the elder was breaking down in his lesson, back then, like we having these sacrifice things of that nature, but the sacrifices was to purify us, to keep us close to the Most High. But it came to a point where the Most High wasn't here no more. That's why Yahweh had to come on the scene. It's simple, if you can understand it. It's all it's like the Most High game plan for you call it. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh had to come on the scene and to make us perfect. But when you understand it, the same man who brought sin, the same man who's gonna bring righteousness, right? So we're gonna go to Hebrews 9. Right here, Hebrews 9:12, right? And it reads, says, neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his own blood he entered into the place. He entered and once into the holy place, having obtained eternal redemption for us, right? He said, for if the blood of bulls and of goats and the ashes of an heifer, sprinkling the unclean, sanctified to the purifying of flesh, how much more shall the blood of Mashiach Yahushua, who through the eternal Spirit offer himself without spot to Yahweh, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power, right? So Yahweh was that ultimate sacrifice that laid down for us, that's gonna bring that righteousness back into the earth, right? When he come and destroy this place, when he come bring us perfect, and that goes into our change, man. When we get our change come, right? So, matter of fact, what I want to read from, I actually want to read another precept from there real fast. So right here, Hebrews 10, right? It said, which stood only in meats and drinks and diverse washings and cardinal orders imposed on them until the time of reformation. That reformation is what? That change, man. So, right, we will be reformed, right? So look, quick notes, right? It says the laws and rituals, the sacrifices couldn't make us perfect. The Lord knew that. That's why he made the second covenant even before the New Testament. The New Testament came. The Lord knew we wouldn't be able to keep the law perfect because, we subject to vanity. Romans 8:20, we subject to vanity, right? But now we subject to hope. Through who, right? So we're going to go to Galatians, right? Same man who brought sin is the same one who bring us righteousness, right? I think that's what the title going to be. Galatians 2. Actually, let me see. Actually, I want to bring out Romans, actually. Bear with me. Romans, what is 8? I'm looking for, where is it, 7? It's like, baby, I know him. Let me see. Uh, Yep, it's only for right here. Romans 8, 24 and 25, right? For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why do he hope? Why he yet hope for, right? So now that we understanding that, what Yahweh Shai did in the old times, right? That's why he had to, once again, that's why he had to go, right? That's what the elder also was talking about. That's why he knew he had to go, right? So he could say that comfort to us, to give us that hope, to give us that understanding, to give us the spirit of the Holy Spirit, right? For us to understand these things, for us to have the hope to hope for the things that's to come, right? Because if we already seen these things, why, like you said, if you, why would you hope for it if you already if you see it, right? We hope for the things to be seen, right? The promises, the uh the promises, the kingdom, all these things that Yahweh Shai promised to our fathers before us, and that's what this knowledge is for us to bring back the elect unto Yahweh Shai so that we can receive these things through hope and through faith, man. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, we imperfect creatures. You know what I'm saying? So when Adam transgressed, when we subject to vanity, he brought sin into the world. Now you got a lot of transgression going on, right? But we understanding that through the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, which is one who's gonna bring, which is Adam, with the same spirit as Adam, which is gonna bring righteousness to this world through the hope, through the faith that we are the hopeful that we're gonna be saved and we're gonna receive these things, right? It says once again, right, Romans 8:24, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it, right? So patience working, faith working patience, man. We got that faith and we got that patience that Yahweh Shai gonna come and bring us to our kingdom and bring us through this thing and bring us to righteousness, man. Put us back in our righteous state. Put us back into our position to where we was at before Adam transgressed, right? The same one who brought sin, the same one who gonna bring righteousness to it, gonna put us back into our righteous state, right? Because what do you say? I think it's like bear with me. I want to say I think it's John. Let me see. I said E-R. John 10:34. John 10:34, right? As you read what it says, um, it says, Yahweh shall answer them, and it's in red notes, let's against Yahweh shall talk. Yahweh shall answer them. It is not written in your law. I said, ye are gods, right? So he gonna put us back. He gonna put us back in that righteous. He gonna put us back into that righteous state, right? He gonna put us back into that righteous point. He gonna put us back into our God like, man. That's why the elect gonna have these God like powers when it get beamed up and we get back into our righteous position. Because at one point we was righteous, the sons of power. But when Adam transgressed, now we had to go. We got to go through the trigger. We got to go through the suffering. We got to go through the things that the Yahweh Shai and the prophets before it told us we got to go through. We got to do our part, do our part, and we got to have that hope and that faith that through the persecution and suffering that we're gonna be made perfect, right? And we know, and once again, uh, just let me see. I think it was in Hebrews, right? Because Elder just brought this out. Let me see. Let me see about that. Because we know through the second covenant, Yahweh Shai is that mediator, man. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if it come up. I type it in on Google. Let me see. that the one I'm looking for? Well, I know I just read this. Start to pray with me. Let me see. God, it's right here. I'll just read right over, right? So this is Hebrews 9:15, right? And it says, and for this call, he is the mediator of the New Testament, the second covenant, right? That by the means of death, with him and his blood being, because the first covenant, what we were doing was sacrificing animals, things of that nature. But now Yahweh Shai, the ultimate sacrifice for us to what? To bring us into that redemption, bring us into that favor back into the Most High, right? He said, by means of death for the redemption of the transgression of multitude of sins that were under the first testament, or under the first covenant, that they are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance, right? So once again, Yahweh Shai is the mediator of second covenant, and this, once again, like I said, and this precept that the elder brought out, right? And this some notes from the elder Pastor Ron line when I was watching the breakdown. This is the knowledge. This is what the knowledge is talking about. Calling the the let back to the Father to receive the promises, things that He set before us, right? So, and that's what the point of the lesson is. What I'm saying is, the same man who brought sin is going to bring us back to put us back into our righteous position, put us back into our righteous state. It's going to bring us back to the promise, going to put us back into our God-like state, right? And I do want to bring out Jeremiah before I bring out First Corinthians, because you got to understand, man. We gonna get back at that second covenant, which he's mediator of, right? Jeremiah 31:31. It says, "Behold, and we not in that new covenant yet, because why? We still sin. We ain't made perfect yet, right?" He says, "Behold, the days come." Only thing that happened in the new covenant is Yahweh Shai sacrifice, and that's why we under the fold. That's why we waiting on our change, right? We waiting on our reformation. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not according to the covenants I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, said the Lord Yahweh. And this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write in their hearts, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people, right? So, I keep reading on now. It said, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, said the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more, right? Because once Yahweh Shai come back, him and the angels come back and destroy this place, and once the elect is beamed up, right, took us to the chariots, everybody's gonna be brought back into the kingdom, but you're gonna have to come through the elect seed, right? Because once again, this knowledge is to bring back the election back to the Most High, the ones who understand the evil and the good, the ones who understand the ways of being a proper God, right? The ones who understand that. See, people don't understand that. People don't even understand the part of reincarnation. How Adam, Yahweh Shai, Solomon, same spirit, right? They don't even understand that. Because matter of fact, just keep reading Romans, because you gotta understand. Yahweh Shai did it, man. Yahweh Shai laid down for his sins as Adam and King Solomon. So he already did it. He was already made perfect. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to do it, right? We'll keep reading on from starting at verse 15. He said, but not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if though the offense of one many be dead, much more of the grace of Yahweh and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahweh Shai, hath abound unto many. And not as it is by the one that sinned, so is the gift. For the judgment was by the one to condemnation, but the free gift is of many offenses unto justification. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they have, much more they receive, much more they which receive abundance of grace and of gift and the righteousness shall reign in the life by one, Yahweh Shai. Therefore, As by the offense of one judgment came upon all men to condemnation, even so by the righteousness of one the free gift came upon all men unto justification of life. For as by one man's disobedience made for by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous, man. So the same man who brought sin upon this earth gonna bring righteousness upon this earth, right? Moreover, the law entered, and that offense might be abound. But where sin abound, grace did much more abound. That as sin hath reigned unto death, even so might grace reign through righteousness unto eternal life by Yahweh Shai, our Lord, right? So the same one who brought sin upon this earth, he gonna bring righteousness upon this earth, man. He gonna bring righteousness to it. He gonna put it back into our righteous state. He gonna put it back into our righteous standpoint, right? And I was looking for another precept. What's the other precept I was looking for? I'm trying to think of. That's why I'm scrolling through. But Lord willing, to come back to me, right? So I want to go from there. I want to go to 1 Corinthians 15, right? Because we gon' this when we get our change, right? When we get put into our righteous standpoint, right? 1 Corinthians 15 and 52, right? He says, "In the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, right? And we shall be changed. For this corruptible, what is going off this sin, we must put on incorruption. It ain't gonna be no more sin, right? And this mortal must put on immorality, right? So if we put on immorality, that means we ain't gonna die, right? Yeah, meaning we're gonna take out this flesh. We're gonna be in our spiritual body. We're gonna be in our God like. We're gonna be in our God like back to our God like status. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be back to our righteous state. You know, and that goes into a point of that we had to go off so we can appreciate the righteous, man. You know, for the ones who understand it, the elect, the first fruits. We understand, right? We understand the persecution and the hate we receive down here. That's why you always hear, the apostles and the elders, GMS and the teachers. They always talk about, man, we can't wait to get out of this wicked kingdom, because a lot of people don't see it as wicked. A lot of people love it. Oh America this, America that. They love the fact they can do whatever they want. They love the fact they can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they don't got the true understanding. They ain't woke. They ain't in the spirit. They ain't in that flesh. They chasing after the fleshly thing. But we understand through the spirit, like, boy, you worrying about a car, but we gonna have everything. You worrying about getting the car. You gotta do all this thing. You gotta do all this wickedness. You gotta go to work for all this time to get this nice car, this nice house. But what I'm trying to tell you is, we finna get everything that was set for us, because the world was made for our sakes, man. The world was made for our sakes, right? Second Ezra, right? But as we read in Second Ezra anyway, bear with me, before when Adam transgressed, it was made narrow. That's why Most High had to make it narrow, because he knew a lot of people weren't going. They was gonna go off, man. It's all his game plan, man. It's all his game plan. He knew how wicked the nation was, man. Even from when they came out of Egypt, before Moses came back out the mount with the commandment, they already going off, man. They already doing these things, right? They already doing wicked things. So right here, 2 Ezra 6:54, right? It says, "After these things, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou made the world for our sakes," right? You see what I'm saying? He made the world for our sakes, man. He made the world for our sakes. But with Adam and the transgression going off, the game plan was in effect, and Most High set his remnant. So Shalaka for that, I ended up receiving I had a disruption that ended up making the screen recording stop. But like I was saying, man, the world was made for our sakes, and as we read in 2 Ezra 7, 9 and on down, after Adam transgressed, now that narrow passage is narrow, you know what I'm saying? Now it's, it ain't just no easy, you know what I'm saying? Just no easy cakewalk, man. It's gonna be a hard path, but we understand it through the hope and the faith that, hey, we gonna get the promises. We're gonna see the promises. Like I was saying, that's why, Yahweh knew that a lot of people was gonna go off. That's why he left his remnant to his elect, his first fruits, man. And I brought out Hebrew. That's why this knowledge to bring back his elect. The ones who understand the wicked, and the ones who understand the good too. Not the ones who just caught up in the wicked and don't even see that they wrongdoings, right? But matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, Romans 8, right? Romans 8 and 19, right? It says, for the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of power. What I said earlier, we were though before Adam went off, right? Before Adam went off, before Adam went off and transgressed, right? We was who? We was called the sons of power. We were new and righteous. So guess what? They waited for the earnest expectation for the of the creature, waited for the earnest expectation, waited for the manifestation of the sons of power. They waited for us to get back in rulership because they know we gonna rule in righteousness, man. When Yahweh come destroy this place, we gonna rule in righteousness, man. We're gonna rule in righteousness, and that's what we waiting on, man. For Yahweh to come back, put us in our righteous standpoint, our God-like standpoint, and put us in our, and we're gonna rule in righteousness. He's gonna bring righteousness back. He's gonna bring righteousness to the earth. Once again, the same one who brought sin, is the one who's gonna bring back righteousness, right? And quick precept, right here, 2 Peter 3:13, right? It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, man. So, when he come and destroy this place, Yahweh and angels come destroy this place and put us back into our rulership, put us back into our godlike standpoint, we're going to rule in righteousness, man. We're going to rule in righteousness, man. And quick precept on that before we end it out. Isaiah 65, right? Isaiah 65:17, it says, for behold, I create new heavens and new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind, right? Because we know, man, we ain't gonna be no more sin. We're gonna get rid of the wickedness, man. With us being saved through faith in the grace, and goes to that second covenant, when Yahweh the mediator for, which he sacrificed his blood for us, right? When we get to that second covenant, it ain't gonna be no remembrance of sin. It ain't gonna be no more sin. We read in Jeremiah 31:31. So we're gonna be made perfect in righteousness and pure, and through the saving and through Yahweh through that second covenant, man. And we ain't in that second covenant yet because we still going off once again. That's another lesson. But it's coming, man. It's coming. And it's simple, man. You can receive it. But the same one who brought sin gonna bring righteousness, man. Gonna bring righteousness, man. So Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying, and we'll be back with another lesson soon. So I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, and Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle elders of Great Millstone, and shout